I try and avoid talking about Twitter and celebrity drama and stuff like that because I just don't think it's very important. So I had to think long and hard before deciding to make this video because, on the one hand, I think the subject matter isn't important, but on the other hand, the people involved are washed up has-beens. So I didn't want to just add fuel to the fire by causing more outrage if this was just some stupid publicity stunt to get more attention. However, after some time, I decided it was too important to just let it go. A recent article from The Hill titled, "Rosie O'Donnell lashes out at GOP senator over tax bill. Do you think your family is proud of you?" The article covers some recent tweets from Rosie O'Donnell where she tweeted to senators about the new tax bill. Let's take a look at these tweets, shall we? Susan, $2 million cash. Call if you want to negotiate. Do you think your family is proud of you? Woman, mother, grandmother, sister, daughter, you have betrayed us all. Dear God, ask for forgiveness. Redeem your soul tomorrow. Hashtag not sexist. And there's another one. So how about this? I promise to give $2 million to Senator Susan Collins and $2 million to Senator Jeff Flake. If they vote no, I will not kill Americans for the sewer rich. DM me, Susan. DM me, Jeff. No shit. $2 million cash each. Wow. $2 million cash to change a vote. At first, I was going to slam the Hill article a little because the article ended without explaining the legality of the situation. But very shortly after it was posted, the article was updated to include this little paragraph at the end that says, "It is legal to offer money to public officials with the intent to influence official acts like voting on a bill, but it is unclear if O'Donnell's tweet was meant as a serious offer." I think the most interesting part is that without that last paragraph, the article isn't even really newsworthy. Yip-de-freaking-do, some old celebrity tweets her disapproval of a tax bill that's extremely unpopular. What a surprise. However, once you realize that her actions were quite possibly illegal, then it becomes clear why this needed to be addressed. As of this recording, Rosie O'Donnell has yet to delete her tweets, and I suspect she isn't going to. In fact, I think she'll try and play it off as a joke, and maybe it was. She even used the wrong Twitter handle when addressing one of the senators, so maybe that was her way of covering her back a little, but I would guess that she just messed up. She was probably feeling very angry about the bill, and so she took to Twitter to vent her rage, and due to this rash behavior, made a mistake. And I think her typos support this. But still, her tweets don't give any clear indication, as far as I can tell, that they are a joke. But I can't be 100% sure that they were serious either. This, alone with the fact that she didn't even tag the right senator, makes it clear that her tweets probably weren't going to change anyone's vote, and in the end, both the senators she tweeted at ended up voting yes on the bill anyway. So her attempt at comedy or bribery, either way, it failed. So the question I keep coming back to is, what should be done about this? I mean, maybe it was meant as a joke. I don't think it was. It didn't come off that way to me. I don't see anything about it that even hints at humor, but I guess it is sort of funny in a way. But it seems to me that the only way in which it's funny is if you see it as a joke at Rosie O'Donnell's expense, and I don't think that was her intention. But what do I know? I'm not the arbiter of comedy, nor can I read minds. However, I have to wonder what would happen if the senators had voted no. I don't even necessarily mean that her tweet changed their mind, but what if for some reason at least one of them had decided they didn't like the bill and voted against it? Now, if the senator had decided to take the offer, Rosie would have no obligation to pay the $2 million because the subject of her offer is illegal and therefore can't be a valid contract. So the senator would have no legal recourse to enforce Rosie's payment, but still, it's interesting to consider how this could have played out. I want to be clear, though, that I don't think people should be punished for comedy, even if that comedy is terrible. I don't think Kathy Griffin should have been punished for her beheaded Trump pick, and I made a video defending Bill Maher in the past for telling jokes. But I do think that this is a little bit different. With Kathy Griffin and Bill Maher, there was no statement of intention with their joke. Griffin's photo of her holding a bloody Trump head may have made some people nervous, but it didn't give anyone reason to suspect Griffin of following through. However, with O'Donnell's tweet, she doesn't say anything that hints at the idea that she wasn't going to follow through, as far as I can tell. She seems to be seriously offering money to them. And I also don't want to create a world where no one can tell jokes because they're afraid that it'll be misinterpreted, or that if they say a joke in the moment, then they'll be held responsible for something that they did way too hastily. Nor do I want to infringe on anyone's freedom of expression. However, I don't think restricting bribes stops anyone from expressing their beliefs. So if it wasn't a joke, then what should be done about it? On the one hand, I don't think she should be locked up for a tweet. To me, that's just against the things I stand for. However, in this case, the tweet's not really the issue. I mean, in the same way, if I commit a crime and then tweet about it and I get arrested because of it, then it wasn't really arrested for the tweet, I was arrested for the crime I admitted to. Similarly, it's not the tweet that is the problem, but the underlying implied transaction that is the problem. She didn't just tweet something I don't like, she used Twitter as a means to initiate an illegal deal, or at least to joke about such a deal. So the issue is not the tweet, but rather the bribery contained in the tweet. Which is something I do think we should take seriously. I mean, imagine if politics actually worked that way. I mean, it already is that way to a far greater extent than it should be, so imagine how much worse it would be then. We already have lobbyists who influence politicians by raising money for them and offering them jobs, which creates pressure for them to look out for special interests at the expense of their constituents. So allowing for this would move us from a corporate system that we have now, where giant companies have significant influence over public policy, to a full-blown plutocracy, where the rich and powerful control literally everything, and the rest of us don't get a say in anything whatsoever. This is why I think it's such a big deal, even if Rosie O'Donnell didn't actually mean it. I don't think we should let the rich and powerful get away with going around and bribing elected officials. So if this doesn't bother you, imagine if, say, back in 2010, Trump had tweeted at senators that he would pay them to vote no on the Affordable Care Act, or if you're not a fan of Obamacare, just to take your pick of any legislation. Imagine some rich person you don't like trying to bribe Congress to vote a certain way. Unless you also have money to bribe officials, then you probably don't think this would be a very good system. So, should she be locked up or charged a fine or something else? I don't know. I'm not a judge, and I don't even know if punishment is all that necessary. But at the same time, maybe setting an example is necessary. Maybe in order for the rich and powerful to play by the rules, we have to make sure they understand that the rules apply to them, and no one is above the law. Maybe what we need to do is make Rosie O'Donnell pay those millions she promised to go to educating people on the importance of a well-run democracy and the illegality of bribery. But then again, maybe the best punishment would just be to stop talking about Rosie O'Donnell and all the other has-beens. Just stop giving them the attention they so desperately crave, and maybe they'll just go away. But then again, I guess we tried that with Roseanne, and now ABC is reviving her old show, so I guess that probably won't work after all. Damn. But that's it for today. Let me know what you think by rating this video and leaving a comment. You can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and remember to never stop questioning.